Today we are doing a past, present, future reading for you. So let's jump into it. This is a new deck I got. I don't know what it's called. I'm loving the artwork on these. One card for past, please. Nine of Swords. So there's something maybe in the past you were defensive about, you felt you needed to protect. Let's see what that has to say. Present, please. Oh, there it is. The Lovers. Maybe you were defending a connection, or you felt you had to be on guard regarding a connection, protective of a connection. I'm not sure. I'll show you both these. I'm not sure what it is yet, but we will definitely get clarifiers and dig into this, get some answers. And finally, the future, please. One card. Queen of Cups, upside down. All right, Libra. So Knight of Swords is like, usually like there's defensiveness about something, protection around something, right? It's also mind. So maybe there's like an idea, a thought, a feeling that you had that you felt you had to keep to yourself, keep close to yourself for some reason. But let's get clarifiers and find out what's going on here. So Nine of Swords, please, for my Libras. Nine of Swords, please. We got the Page of Pentacles and the Hermit. Anything else for Nine of Swords for Libra? Anything else for Nine of Swords? Didn't quite come out for Libra. There it is. All right, one more. The World. So there's something that you feel you had to keep to yourself, as I said. There's like this thought, idea, truth that's still like in the baby phase, right? It's not like full blown. It's like just something that's passed through and you're acknowledging it. You haven't decided whether you want to do anything with it, but you feel protective of this thought, this idea, whatever this is, whatever this truth might be to you. You feel protective of it, like you have to protect it, and maybe that you can't share it with others. You're not like in inward contemplation about it, because the Hermit is upside down. Like you're not withdrawing to process it. It's like it came through and you're like, I'm gonna keep that to myself for now, right? Maybe it could be like an intuition hit, right? And as I get those and I'm like, okay, I hear it, right? But I'm gonna let it see how it plays out and not put anything towards it. And if it plays out the way I'm understanding from what I'm getting, then cool. And if it doesn't, then so be it, right? I'm not going around like, this is what I think, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna file that away and I'll keep an eye and see how that plays out. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this, right? Like, you've acknowledged it. And maybe even like for some reason, I just looked at this card and I saw the two birds up there. Maybe you're waiting for communication about this thought, idea, intuition hit that you got, right? You're like, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm going to protect it. And I'll wait because there's these two little birdies. And I don't know if you guys ever watched Game of Thrones, but like in Game of Thrones, he has his little birds that run around and spread gossip and collect gossip, right? And I've never actually noticed these birds before when I use this card, but it's making me think like you're waiting to hear the chatter about this thing, this thought, this intuition hit. You're waiting to see what's said about it, to see if what you feel or, think or whatever is correct. And then lastly, you know that this will cause a lot of change, right? So you're keeping it quiet, but you know that if and when this processes, it'll be change. Because this right here is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's causing change to occur. Or maybe this right here, once it comes to light, right, or plays out, it will cause change to occur. And maybe for that reason, you're keeping it to yourself right now because you're not trying to force the change. You're trying to see how it plays out by itself. And that in itself will cause the change, right? Yeah, it's really giving me like a intuition hit. And you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna sit here and wait and see what happens. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna blab about it. I'm not gonna really even focus on it. because you're not doing like the internal hermit work. You're like, yeah, I felt it pass through and I heard it, but I'm just going to let it be and see what happens. Nine of Swords clarifiers, please. Nine of Swords clarifiers, please. Anything else for Nine of Swords clarifiers for Libra? I think that's going to be it. Nope, those came back in. Yep. All right, just 2 for you today. Okay, Libra. Oh, it's upside down still. So we have be here now and commit to the journey. Be here now says practice mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. So yeah, I feel like you're staying present with the now. You're not getting swept up in whatever this thing is, this thought that you feel like you have to protect, or this idea that you have to protect. You're kind of just like, you know, it's there, you've acknowledged it, and you're just trucking along with it, right? And then commit to the journey. With determination, go all in for the long term. Your steadfast focus will bring you lasting rewards. Commit to the journey. Maybe there's some journey happening for you. There was the Wheel of Fortune, so there's change. So maybe whatever this is, as I said, is going to cause change, and being open to that change and the journey that that triggers for you, right? Whatever that opens up for you. All right, Libra, let's look at the Lovers. So the Lovers card can obviously be like a connection. It can also be a big decision. So let's get more information on what the Lovers is for you. And that card is so pretty. Clarifiers for the Lovers, please, for Libra. Clarifiers for the Lovers, please, for Libra. They're jumping out. Knight of Sword and Two of Pentacles. Anything else for Libra, please? Okay, so the Knight of the Knight of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles talks about, like, you know how you have the page over there? It talks about like moving that thing forward, that idea, that thought, right? Whatever it is, you've thought it through and now you're actually taking action in minor sense, right? This is not the wand, so you're not like driving forward with passion and determination, right? It's like, okay, I've thought it through and now I kind of know what I want to do with it, so I'm moving forward in that sense, right? But this is upside down. So I feel like whatever this is at this space, you're not moving forward with it yet. And I think that there's something out of balance with it. And I'm not quite sure what that is in the present. Whether this is a connection or whether this is a connection or a big decision, there's something that needs to be balanced for you to move forward with whatever that like Page of Swords was that you had, the thought, idea, intuition hit. It's not moving forward yet because it's out of balance. And for you're a Libra, right? You know all about I'm a Libra too. You know all about out of balance. Something is out of balance, so you have to balance it before you can take this thought, idea, intuition hit and move it forward. Let's get a clarifier for the Knight of Swords, please. Knight of Swords, there it is. The Queen of Swords. Okay. And the Two of Pentacles, please. A clarifier for Two of Pentacles. Release of some form. This immediately said to me, because you have the Knight of Pentacles upside down, so you can't move forward. Because I think there's some unsurety. I'm not sure I'm saying that word correctly. It feels wrong. Maybe it's right. Like you're unsure about something regarding this. It could be whatever is out of balance, but there's something you want to be in your full power. You want to know, yes, my mind is set on this. I'm moving forward with this. And right now you're not yet in that energy. That's why this is upside down. You're waiting to be in like where you're fully confident and sure and clear about what you're doing before you do it. So in the past, it was something you had to protect. It was in this page state, right? And you're not moving forward right now currently because you're not fully, I don't want to say like in your power, but you don't feel fully confident. There it is. You don't feel fully confident about moving forward with this yet, and you want to make sure that you have no doubts about it. And maybe that's what's the imbalance here, right? Because something's out of balance and there needs to be some form of movement or release of something regarding this balance to balance it. Because this card is the card of balance. It's upside down. This card is the card of like you're releasing something, the Six of Swords. And so it's like maybe you have to drop something to gain something to balance this, right? And I don't know what that is. I still don't know fully if this is a connection or if it's like a decision, right? I'm not 100% on this, but whatever it is, to balance it, something needs to be left to balance. And I always think of like, maybe there's something, it's like the scales are like this because this thing is like weighing down so much. So when you actually take off some of that and release it, then the scales can rebalance, right? Resettle. That's what I'm getting for this, for whatever that may mean. So hopefully that made sense to you. This one is kind of vague, but there's a lot of information within it. So if it's yours, it's yours. Maybe you'll know. If it's not, it's not, right? Clarifiers for the lovers, please. Clarifiers for the lovers. All right, we're going to do one more for you, Libra. A clarifier for the lovers. Okay. Funny that the Libra reading would talk about balance, right? All right, see what's real. Observe with clarity. True insights lie beyond the surface. Maybe you're still looking at this. You're looking at the imbalance, trying to understand what to do with it, where to go with it, how to move within it. And this talks about like seeing with clarity. And that's kind of what the Queen of Swords is, right? Like she is clear, she is confident, like her mind is sharp, right? And so that's what you're trying to find. You're trying to find the clarity in the situation to know how you need to proceed with it, what you need to do, right? Then we have saving grace. Forgive yourself and others, heals the wound and sets you free. There you go. All right, Libra. Let's jump into your final card, the Queen of Cups upside down. The Queen of Cups talks about emotional investment. You know your emotions, you understand them, you know how to move within them. It's like confidence and emotion. You also know what you're worth, what you deserve, what you have to give, right? The Queen of Cups, she knows what her cup holds and she knows what cup she will accept, right? But it's upside down. So let's see what's going on for the Queen of Cups here. You have the 10 of Cups upside down and the 8 of Swords. Anything else for the Queen of Cups, please? Do one more. Anything else for the Queen of Cups for Libra? All right, just 2 for you for a lot of these. Minimal cards jumping out. Not a lot being said. So maybe you're keeping this. I mean, you were protecting this, so I feel like other readings, the cards are flying out. This one, the cards are like, they're like, here's a little bit, here's a little bit, here's a little bit. Each card, right? It's very minimal. And so I feel like there's a lot maybe you're holding in, a lot you're not saying, or a lot you're not showing because you're maybe trying to process through. I know myself, for example, when I have something on my mind that I'm trying to work through, I tend to kind of like withdraw. And everybody's like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm figuring it out. I'm good, right? But in my mind, it's like the things are spinning, right? It's going 24/7 nonstop until I get to resolution. Unfortunately, that's how my mind works. And then once I have resolved my problem, I'm like, hey, people, this is what was going on, but I have to figure it out myself. There's probably, some diagnosis for that, but it is who I am. That's how I've always been. And I kind of get this, you're kind of keeping it to yourself. You're being quiet about it, right? You're not sharing a whole lot about this process. So you had the Lovers, and now you have this Queen of Cups upside down, 10 of Cups, 8 of Swords. It makes me wonder if there's, because we talked about with the Lovers, there was an imbalance, right? And something had to be released to be able to balance this. And what has to be released, I don't know, I'm not sure. But these two together make me think that you're looking at either what you want and you're not seeing it and you're in your head about that, or where you are is not where you want to be. It's not actually your 10 of Cups, right? And maybe you're realizing that and you feel either held in that or like stuck in that, or you're just in your mind about it a lot. Let me get some clarifiers for these two. See what's going on with these. Can I get the 10 of Cups, please, clarifier? King of Cups upside down as well. And 8 of Swords, please. Oh, okay. Give me a whole story. Now it's talking. Let's see what's going on here. We have conflict, 3 of Cups, perfect, and Magician. Okay. So for the 10 of Cups, we have the King of Cups upside down. So yeah, it's maybe something that you thought was what you wanted, or even someone that you thought was what you wanted. And now you're kind of looking at it like, is that what I want? And you're kind of in your head about it. Okay, maybe there was going back to the beginning, there was a thought about what this could be with X person, right? I don't know who they are. And then it got there and something was just out of balance. And it said you had to release something to balance something. But maybe after all of that, you realize that that is actually not what you want to invest in. Like you had a ideal in your, not an ideal, but like, you know, when you start something new with anybody, it's all like upbeat and joyous, right? And it has that like level to it where everybody stays, you know, good and everybody's friendly and everybody, and then as you get to know them, the real people come out, the real person, right? You get to know the real person, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, right? You get the full person story. And I think this thing you were keeping quiet was this ideal that you had about what this connection could be. But the connection itself seems to be out of balance of some form. And I'm not sure whether you need to release something and that will balance it, or if the release is actually the connection. I can't speak to that, right? Only you know. I'm just reading the cards. That said, if you chose to keep it, there's something here that you're like, this cup is not the cup that I wanted, or it's not the cup I want anymore. And you're not seeing the big picture with this connection anymore that you were before. And you're kind of in your head about it because I feel like maybe you thought this could be something more than it has become. It could be something that you were really excited about, you could see a future with, but now you're kind of like, this is not it, right? And that happened. That's just part of life. We won't know unless we try, and you tried. You had this idea, you took action with it, or, you know, moved into it, gave it a chance, and only through giving it that chance could you understand that it wasn't for you, right? People are like, no. You have to try it to know if it works or if it doesn't work. And so you tried it, you gave it a chance, and it didn't work. It happens in life. But I think now you're in this energy of like, I don't know if you feel stuck in this or you feel stuck with like, what do I do now? Because it's not a conflict within the situation, right? It's not like a toxic situation. It's just that you can feel that there's something off. You know, when like you're with somebody and it feels right, you can also feel when it just doesn't quite vibe. The energy is just not quite there. And you're like, they're a cool person, right? Like, they're just not for me. And that's fair. Set them free so they can go find the person that is for them. And you can find the person that is for you. Nothing wrong about that. And you wouldn't have known that unless you had given it a shot, right? And they wouldn't have known that unless they had given it a shot. So there's no like ill will here. No, like, I hate them. No, it's like, I cared about them. There's not conflict here. I enjoyed their company, the connection with them. But there's something else that I want. There's something else that I want to create, that I want to invest into, and it's not this. And I think understanding that and acknowledging that is such a big, important piece, because people tend to be like, well, I'm in this now, I'll just stay with it, I'll make it work, it's fine. But you're like, the way you're approaching this is so beautiful. It's like, no, I cared about them, and we're not having conflict, we're not fighting, we're not doing any of that. Like, this person was important to me. I care about them. I still care about them. They're just not for me in the sense of a romantic connection. They're not for me. I want something other, something else, right? So yeah, Libra, I think, take this as it resonates, but I think it's really beautiful to have that kind of honesty with yourself. I think that's a rarity nowadays. And I think you acknowledging that is not easy. And you'll get maybe all kinds of advice from people on how you should live your life, what you should do, right? But you, at the end of the day, you got to be honest to you. Only you are living your life, right? And if you already feel that this is not the one for you, set them free so they can find their one for them. And you can find the one for you, right? Nothing wrong with trial and error. You tried it, it erred. Okay, you live and you learn and you move on, right? All good. All good. Really beautiful that you've accepted this as what it is. And I even think that this kind of thing could be like, maybe they're there also, right? I don't know. I can't speak to them. I'm not seeing them on this board. I'm only seeing you. But maybe they're there too, and you two being honest with each other can actually allow for you two to stay in each other's space. It seems like you do care about them. There's a connection there that you enjoy. It's just not like they're not your person, and that's fine. Maybe you guys can still be cool and acknowledge, like, yeah, we tried it. We weren't for each other, but we're still cool, right? We had a discussion about we're both on the same page. Like, I'm not for you, you're not for me, but I still enjoy your company, and we can still be friends, maybe, right? Or not. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But yeah, there's no like ill will here. There's no anger. It's just like, not for me. Anything else for Libra, please? Oh. So many came out. Okay, that's enough. Libra, please. All right. I have some good ones here. So we have manifest the new. Embrace change and envision your desires, allowing the universe to allow. Oh my God. Let's try that again. Manifest the new. Embrace change and envision your desire, allowing the universe to align with your intentions. So you, I feel like saying, this isn't for me, allows doors to be open, new things to come in, right? That may be for you. Because holding on to something that's not for you is like a blockage on that, right? Or even if, let's say, you're holding on to this and someone comes in that's for you, then it's a whole messy situation, right? So by just being like, I know this is not for me, I'm going to release it, allows the universe to work in your favor. Like, let's find somebody else that is for you, right? Of your energy. Stand strong. With defenses, I cannot read today, guys. Stand strong. With defense as your shield, find strength in preservation, guarding what matters most. What matters most is you at the end of the day, right? You matter most. And if this is how you feel about this, take your time to make a decision on this. That's why you had that Queen of Swords. We weren't sure about how to take action on this. So you're looking at it, you're considering it, you're going through all the different pieces of it to make sure when you make a decision and take an action on something, you are sure. So take your time to figure that out and get to that surety, right? That clarity. Open to receive. Invite abundance with open arms. Embrace the blessing waiting to flow into your life. So yeah, it talks about unblocking that doorway, right? So more things can come your way. Honor your worth. Recognize your value and stand proudly in your truth, knowing that self-love is the foundation for all other relationships. Yeah, you being honest with yourself and releasing something that is not for you is like one of the big forms of self-love. Open doors. You have many options, so take your time to choose what's right. Yes, that speaks to further down the line, I think, like as possible new options come in, new connections, take your time to find what's right for you, what you want to invest in, right? All right, Libra, let's get you a universe card. I can feel one seeing that way. This one. Hope is not a naive denial of darkness. It is a stubborn decision to kindle a candle anyway. It is the act of planting a seed in frozen soil, trusting in a spring you cannot yet see. Your hope is a signal flare shot into the long night, a declaration that you believe in the eternal dawn. It is the most practical magic, for it fuels the very actions that make better futures possible. Better futures possible. All right, Libra, let's get some clarifying my little homemade messages here. Funny side story. I made these at my sister's house, and I have nieces and nephews, and I had them in these little sandwich bags that I made, and she came home. She was like, "What are these crafty things?" She left them in the trash, and I was like, "No, no, no. I crafted those. I crafted those for my channel." She was like, "Okay." Okay, weirdo. This one. So I have, like, you know, letters, days, times, all that jazz. And then I have a music one where a song, right? You can listen to, maybe get a message from. So let's go through these. Aquarius, that could be season, that could be you, that could be the person, right? Let's see what else we have here. Coming up soon. So yeah, so you're in this lover's phase. So maybe like the decision, taking the action is coming up soon. Letter P. Letter A. Letter M. This is a blank piece of paper. This has not come out before. I'm not sure where this came from, but fill in your own there if this resonated with you. Something's months away. And your music. How do you love? How do you love again? Dancing with Your Ghost, Sasha Alex Sloan. So maybe take a listen to that song. Might have a message in it for you. And yeah, that's what I have for you, Libra. Hope this helped.